Everybody, welcome back to the Capitol Seat. Today we have a special guest, Alicia Milton, a licensed real estate professional who's been in the commercial real estate game for over 24 years, founder of the GOB Network here in Arizona, and she's a part of a team who has 90 million under management and 6,500 doors under management right now as well. So we're glad to have Alicia on to tell us a little bit about how she got started, any tricks, any tips she has for any new investors today.
Awesome. I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much, Chaka. Um,
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
excited to be in front of your audience.
Absolutely. So, as I segue a little bit before, as far as where you've been now and where you've been, you got 24 years in the commercial real estate game. So, tell us a little bit about you, your background, and how you come to where you are now.
Sure. So a long time ago, when I first got my professional job, I started at the Pasadena Board of Realtors, and I was their, what do you call the receptionist?
Okay.
I was their receptionist, and that's how I started in the real estate field initially. And after that, things happened. I never really thought about real estate at that age. I
Mm-hmm.
just said, you know what? Let me go here. My passion is people. I wanted to get into human resources. So I did. I went to school for human resources and business. When I graduated, way back in the day, they had these newspapers, and that's how we used to do ads. And so I saw a little tiny ad talking about an executive assistant. I went to go interview for that position and got hired.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned, I want to say maybe the night before I went for the interview, that it was at the Rose Bowl Stadium.
Oh,
And
nice.
so when I got hired, it was just for executive assisting of the luxury suites manager. And shortly after I was hired, he became the general manager. And I did so well under his leadership for, I think it was the first 36 months of employment, that he wanted me to run the luxury suites. So I leased those suites out, which are commercial suites, to larger companies. And I really got a love of real estate at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So when I moved to Arizona, I decided to get my real estate license. And, since that point, I've been focused in commercial real estate.
Okay. So you got your commercial real estate license. Can you elaborate a little bit more? So what have you been doing in the commercial real estate sector?
So in commercial real estate, so it's for out here in Arizona, it's just a regular real estate salesperson's license,
Mm-hmm.
but my focus in the field is commercial. And so what I've done since then is I've managed commercial property for some private entities and owners. And then I also have managed commercial property through CBRE and also Colliers. I
Mm-hmm.
did a little bit of management with KW Commercial, which is the company that my license is hung at right now. But my primary focus now is with selling and leasing
Mm-hmm.
commercial real estate for clients. And then on the other professional side for my family and I, we are also real estate investors.
Okay, nice. So when you're saying commercial real estate, are you talking like your, shopping centers, you're talking multifamily, you're
Mhm.
talking um, you know, retail shops? What are you speaking?
Yes. So my focus is multifamily. I've also done retail. I've done a lot of retail actually,
Hmm.
and some industrial. So those three are my main ones that I work with. But the one that I really love is the multifamily.
Okay. So is that what you and your family invest in for your other side of professional?
Yes.
So
Yes,
what
it is.
is it about multifamily? I mean, so you've been involved with all types of commercial, right? So you've
Yes.
seen the ins and out of all of them, and you chose multifamily as your outlet. Why is that?
Yeah, I've managed about 1 million square feet of commercial property, which stems from land, retail, commercial, and or retail, industrial, and office.
Hmm.
With multifamily, you deal with more families and everybody needs shelter, right?
Mhm.
And so that's a field that everybody needs. They need to have somewhere to live. There are some folks that are homeless, and that's a soft spot for my husband and I. And so we believe that everybody deserves a home, and if we could be good landlords and good stewards to our tenant, that's what we want to be. And we also want to help others do that. So that's the reason why I chose multifamily.
Okay, nice. So, what was your first introduction into multifamily? Be it, your first property or your first investment?
Yeah, so that's a cool question. So my first introduction to it was actually during COVID.
Hmm.
I was looking into some opportunities because in managing property, you get to learn where the money really comes from, where it stems from, and where all of the decisions are made. And I noticed that it's not necessarily on the management aspect, it's not necessarily on the broker aspect. There's more unlimited possibilities on the ownership aspect of owning real estate property. And
Hmm.
especially for commercial, you have a higher return
Hmm.
and you don't have to do a lot of work for it. In addition to, it's a business that you can leave for someone else. And so the reason why we're focused on that and where we initially got introduced to it was a couple of years ago. I met Daryl Murphy Sr.,
Hmm.
who is also a KW commercial agent. And he said, hey, this is what I'm teaching. I have some mentees. I was like, you know what? This is pretty cool. I want to learn more about it. And
Hmm.
so through Daryl, who has a mentorship program, I learned just about all I wanted to know and became introduced to the GOB Network of Apartment Investors, which is what my logo is up here.
Hmm. So, tell us a little bit more about the GOB then. I know you
Sure,
started here in
awesome.
Arizona.
Yeah, so GOB Network, we are a group of investors. We're about 1,400 investors now that have banded together. Um, we are an educational platform for people who have either just started in their investment world and they don't know much about how to invest, what to invest in, or how to assess the investment. We teach them how to do that. We provide tools. And then we also have different opportunities, such as our acquisition summit here that's happening in April. And then we also have the Goya Fast Track program, where you can become a part of a team or a group of investors, and we walk you through that process.
Hmm.
It's a collaborative environment. So we have new investors, middle of the road investors, seasoned investors, sponsors, key principals, attorneys, accountants, you name it, as it
Hmm.
relates to the real estate field. Most likely we have it, even contractors. So we're a large network, but we're focused on those people who would not ordinarily have the opportunity to invest. We want
Hmm.
to make that opportunity to invest in your communities or abroad, to everybody.
That's nice. And that's a pretty big network, 1,400
Yes,
people, right? And that's definitely spread out across the country. So sounds
it
like
is.
this acquisition summit is definitely something someone should attend if they're in the area, to be able
Yes.
to actually find and partner up with people and learn things. So it definitely sounds like a cool thing. Something I'm going to be attending.
Thank
It's
you.
going to be a lot of people there networking, and it's great to get there and meet people. That's all what this business is about, right? Getting your face out there
Yeah,
and meeting everyone. So I'll sort of stay on that line of questioning then. So, if
sure.
we're talking about, a new investor, someone who's looking to learn mid-tier, what are some key action steps you would say they could take fresh out their gate?
Yeah. So I would say do not do this by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Do not reinvent the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Do not think that you can just because you've been successful at other opportunities. Um, you can do it. You may be successful, But wouldn't it be nice to start from a landing pad that is up higher than some of the other landing pads that other people who want to do it by themselves start out? So I say that because you always want to make sure that you align yourself with an experienced person. An experienced person can help you along your journey, can help limit any complications you experience along the way, can help you lower the chances of those startup mistakes
Mhm.
that could be quite costly. So it can save you money as well. And it can also help you get approved for your loan if you're going to do a loan, because most lenders want you to have some experience. If not, it'll cost you a little more. Um, so I would say that.
Mhm.
I would also say that you want to make sure that you let your family and friends know what you're doing. Not that you're gloating or saying, hey, look at me, but you're saying, hey, if you're interested, let me know. This is what I'm doing. And I'm with some successful people that have done this before, and this is their results. And for those of you that want legacy and longevity as far as wealth is concerned, because I always talk to my kids about what's rich and what's wealth, they're
Mhm.
two different things. One lasts longer than the other. So, you want to know those things. So it's aligning yourself with experienced people. It's also talking to folks in your network and sharing about what you're getting into, and then just continuously educating yourself throughout the process.
Excellent. Yeah, that's exactly what you should be doing. And I like that. And that's, just a little tidbit, a little small things of what you guys I'm expecting is going to be teaching at that acquisition summit. So all right. So let's spin here. And what was that last property that you and your team acquired, and tell us a little bit about that and the story behind it.
Yes, yes. So the last property we acquired was December 13th of 2022. And that property is a 24 unit apartment complex that also has 42 self storage units on it. It's value add property, and value add is where we can add more value to the property than what it has currently. So
Mhm.
that consists of increasing rents, renovating some of the units into, just a better quality unit, changing the floor, the appliances, paint, those types of things, and making some improvements on the exterior with paint and replacing some of the exterior stairwells.
Nice. So can you tell us a little bit of how you guys got to actually acquiring this property? Like, where did it come from? How did you do to reach out? And then I'm also curious, since it's, about what, 30% apartments and the rest half is storage, does that come with, different management companies? What are some of the complications with that?
Sure, sure. So we first got the property. It was an actual challenge. So we did a challenge with the GOB network where we were looking at some tertiary markets to help some of the newer investors acquire property. And so we wanted to keep the prices low, so that if they had funds to invest, they'd be able to invest, either put down the earnest money deposit on their own and then capital raise, or syndicate to close the property.
Mhm.
Or we also wanted to look, because at the time when we first started looking, you guys all heard in the news, multifamily is a big thing, right? And
Mhm.
so that was causing the property values to increase. But in some of these markets, you'd be able to still negotiate a good deal. So that's how we started to find the property. And what was the last question?
Also, like, was there any complications, or do you
Uh-huh.
need different management companies, since it's
Oh,
split
management.
between um self storage and multifamily?
Yes. So the management, we got a good management company, one that we had a prior relationship with. They managed property that was in that area and also nearby. And because self storage also falls under multifamily, we didn't need to get a separate property manager for that. So they managed the entire asset. They managed both the apartments and self storage. If the tenants wanted to lease the self storage, they could, but we also lease to outside companies because they're nice and professional. So that's that. The challenges that we encountered were that a lot of our investors wanted to invest in larger properties because we normally invest in 100 units or more. So
Mm-hmm.
they were looking for larger properties. So we had to work a little harder in order to raise the capital for this opportunity, but
Mm-hmm.
we were able to do it and close on time. The other challenge we faced was during the process. That's why documentation is so healthy to have
Mm-hmm.
uh, in the real estate field, period, but especially when you're acquiring property, is we did a loan assumption initially because that helped the seller, but it also helped us because the interest rates were really low at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because they took so long, we ended up transitioning. But because we watched the industry and we try to future project what is happening, we were able to still secure a lower rate when we did new equity debt on this asset.
Oh, nice. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice. And it is great
Yeah.
that you guys didn't really, you know, run into a problem when it came to actually financing in where the interest rates was way too high and you guys had to pull out the deal.
Yes.
So good thing, you were watching the market, were going on, so you knew when to capitalize and when to actually get it situated. So okay, that's nice. So
Yeah.
you're coming from really an asset and a sales, background. So is that what you do primarily for your team, for your company? Are you focused on the asset management portion?
Yes, I do. I That's my position on the team is asset management, and then I also help with due diligence and capital raising.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all the team members, so everyone on your team should be focused on capital raising in one other position.
Mm-hmm.
Capital raise just helps you close faster. It's okay if you're uncomfortable with it. It's okay if it's something that you haven't done. It is something that you should learn because you never know when you're going to need the help. Many
Mm-hmm.
teams, they have maybe 1 to 2 capital raisers on their team, but if they're not strong or if this asset doesn't fit their investors portfolio,
Yeah.
then you're going to need more help. So it'll be good for everyone to know capital raising.
Okay. Absolutely. So what are some tricks or of the trade that you learned when you were on the other side, right? When you were actually managing these properties, now bringing it over to the syndication side.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Managing properties, you have to have some energy, some organization. The reason why I love the management aspect of it is because with managing 1 million square feet, I was constantly on the go. And things break, right? And when things break in the middle of the night and you're the manager of that property, you are called, especially. And I had a team of engineers, but the engineers, they have to wake up early. So a call at 1, 2 a.m. in the morning, they're really not going to hear it,
Mm-hmm.
and because I have kids too, that sometimes I was able to get my work done during
Mm-hmm.
that time. So it's a big change. The ownership side, you could passively invest
Mm-hmm.
if you want to just park your money somewhere that is outside of the bank and actually earn a higher percentage than you would in the bank, then you want to invest. And it's fun to me because there's a lot of different assets that you can invest in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then it frees up some time. So I
Okay.
like the investment part.
Of course, so you have much to do. So, okay. So, how about this, right? If someone's out there and they're, trying to pick a property management company, right, from both sides of the field with your experience that you have, what are some questioning or some guidelines they can have when actually going to look for a good property management company to manage their property?
Sure. So when you're looking for a property manager, uh, I- you know, Google may not be sponsoring your show, but if they can put something in on it, that would be great. So make sure you search, use whatever search platform you use, but do a Google search, look at the reviews for the property managers, right?
Mm-hmm.
In your city, in your state, look at the larger companies, look at the smaller companies. Then also find out who their clients are and then contact their clients and ask, hey, I'm considering hiring this company. What do you think? Have you had challenges? Just like you would interview someone, an assistant, or interview someone for another company or your employer, you want to ask those questions. What's their track record? How many properties have they managed? Have they managed difficult tenants? And if so, what do they do? Do they know the laws of that state, of that city? Those are some of the most important things that you want to get from your property manager. And then definitely sit down face to face with them and talk with them about different assets. You can pull an asset that maybe you're not interested in investing in at the time. Maybe you don't have one, but pull one and get their feedback, because that's when you see what type of information they're going to give you, what's their knowledge about it.
That's nice. I actually heard that pulling a property and just giving it to them and seeing what they're going to tell you about the market, how you can do this and do that. And especially,
Yeah.
when you're underwriting and you have a plan as far as raising rents or doing some type of renovation, it's good to send that over to your property management company, right? Asking them, hey, is this actually feasible? Can I implement this type of thing and be able to bump my rents $200? And they'll tell you, hey, yes or no. That's not happening in this market.
Right.
That's happening in this market. So very good information. So tell us a little bit more. What is the GOB working on right now?
Oh, wow. We're working on a lot of stuff. So we have the Acquisition Summit webinar that's coming up in April. We're doing a webinar February 11th at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. For those of you that are in Arizona, that's 7 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. The webinar will share with you what we're doing at the summit, which is in April 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It's a 3-day summit that we're not just talking. We will be underwriting properties, we will be touring properties, and submitting offers for properties. So it's limited to 50 people. We do have folks already registering. We've had one webinar already, and that the 11th will be our second webinar. We also have Goya, which is get off your assets. I'm sure Chaka knows the latter one, but it means get off your assets. And it's a 12-month version of the Acquisition Summit, where you'll be underwriting. We'll teach you all on both the Goya Fast Track program and the Acquisition Summit. We'll teach you how to underwrite. We'll teach you how to capital raise. We'll teach you from A to Z on how to acquire property, but you're going to be learning OJT, that is on the job training. So it's no more of this is what I want to do. It is this is what I'm doing. I'm investing in commercial real estate.
Excellent. There's not a lot of coaching programs, mentor programs, or groups that are, doing exactly that, right? Taking you through step by step, who's going to submit an LOI with you. And hey, who knows? What if the LOI gets accepted, right? While you're there, right?
Right. Hey, we would love it. Our team has been busy communicating with owners and brokers. So we would love for that to happen.
Okay, sweet. So, other than GOB on a personal side for you, right? What are your goals? What are the end game for you in the multifamily space?
So my family and I, we are looking to acquire 2,000 units before the end of this year. Mm-hmm. It's a hefty goal. But we believe, by God and faith of God that we will get there.
Absolutely.
We're communicating with a lot of people to get there. We also, my husband and I have banded with VRP, which is Veteran Resource Program. It's
Mhm.
a program that's currently in the Bay Area in California that we are bringing here to Arizona. Because as you know, Chaka, there's a lot of veterans that are out on the street. Some want to be there, you know, but some don't. And to help them, because my husband's a vet, our bishop and pastor are vets, our elders are vets.
Mhm.
So we're around a lot of vets, and they're near and dear to our hearts. And a part of that program as well is talking with the youth, the teens, the young adults on how they can acquire property,
Mhm.
being at a young age, because they invest now no matter what happens with their life. If they're injured, if they don't want to work anymore, if they want to travel, they don't have to depend on a job to help them get there. They can buy a multifamily building and label it vacation,
Yeah.
and the income from that they can use for their vacation. And so that's what we're focused on. My husband and I, we're really heavily in our church and do a lot of activities. I love being involved in the community. And I always think, we're here to make the atmosphere better. We're here to make our communities better. And that's what gives us joy.
Okay. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. No, it's not too big of a goal for the 2,000 units. If you want it, you got it, right? You already spoken
Right.
into us, spoken into existence.
Yeah.
Having that positive outlook. Having those prayers going on. You want it, you got it. So, any last tidbits that you can give for any fresh investors right now that's listening, right? Of course, you said don't go on this thing alone, thinking you have to do it all alone. Get your
No.
team. What are some other steps that they can take to start on the right track?
Yeah, the steps that you can take is GOB Network is a nonprofit. So we're a nonprofit, 501(c)(3). You can join, and right now it's free to join. You can join for free. We do have different programs where we do have a premium membership. Right now, it's only $25 to have a premium membership that gives you access to certain systems. You have access to our private calendar where many of our team members have their own masterminds that you can be a part of. And there are some documents and resources that you have available to you. And you also have many partners and access to our membership to ask questions, to hop on different teams, to invest as well. We're constantly having opportunities posted to our site where all of our members are either capital raising for, have acquired under uh, uh, acquired under an agreement, a
Mm-hmm.
purchase and sell agreement. So there's a lot of activities that they can become involved in. So I would say, don't do it by yourself. We have commercial multifamily masterminds every Tuesdays. It's a call for you to learn underwriting. It's a call that you can ask questions. Never be afraid to ask questions. That's probably the best advice I can give.
Mm-hmm.
Never be afraid to ask questions. If someone doesn't want to respond or answer your question directly, run and find someone else that will.
I love it, and only for $25.
Yeah,
That's a huge value, right? Huge value.
it is.
Document access to a network, learning how to underwrite, set management, capital raise, and only for $25. When you got other places with huge thousands of dollars price tags for the same exact thing. So
Right.
GOB Network sounds like a network that really wants to help, right? Really want to help young people get involved or new investors get involved. So I love it. I love it, Alicia. I love hearing all of it. So um,
Awesome.
that's it for our show today on the Capital Seat. I
Yay.
appreciate you, coming in and sharing with us your knowledge, and how to invest and reach out with you. So I'll make sure in the description to put all of your contact information.
Oh,
Um, you
cool.
know,
Thank you.
yeah, how everyone can reach out to you. You can let them know right now too. What's the best avenue to reach out to you?
Sure. You can schedule some time with me if you like on Calendly. which is CALENDYDLY. I think
Yeah.
I spelled it correctly. .com/love of 5RE. So love, LOVE, of OF, the number 5RE, like real estate, and book some time. Schedule some time with me. That's probably the best way to get a hold of me live, or you can email me and Chaka will put all of that in the comments below.
Yes, I will. Okay, perfect. Again, thanks for coming on. Enjoyed talking to you. And I'm sure a lot of people have learned a lot from this and they will be reaching out to you.
Awesome. Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.